Well, hello. I am over by my favorite tree. In all honesty, I don't have a favorite tree. Um, they're all just so magnificent, aren't they? Um, but I really like this one though. So like now this one is like temporarily my favorite tree. But I always have like a favorite tree whenever I'm like working somewhere. And so anytime that I go on my breaks at work, I just like go outside and talk to the tree, or like hang out with the tree, or like lie under the tree and stare at the tree longingly. Um, I'm not a dendrophiliac, if that's what you're thinking. I'm still smoking now. I realize how detrimental this is for multiple reasons. I gotta say, going back to smoking cigarettes, it makes me like really look forward to my breaks at work, you know? Because like you don't really have anything to look forward to aside from like, eating, but I just like eat while I work. That's just how I roll. I don't like just sitting down and eating unless I'm with like a bunch of people and we're having a very interesting conversation. Usually not anything to do with politics. But 7 o'clock, I have to be back in like 23 minutes, I believe. See, once I'm done describing all my videos, um, then and only then will I start putting up more videos. But I think it's really stupid for me to just keep adding and adding and adding, you know? Like I said, at this point, you're multiplying. Yeah, but I just found myself watching a lot of my videos last night because, like, I was bummed that I didn't go to Nashville to do comedy. It just isn't worth it. If it's pouring down rain, it's not fucking worth it to drive on the interstate in that kind of weather, especially with the tires that I've got and the brakes that I've got and the piece of shit car that I've got. It's not wise. So yeah, this is what I'm working with, in case you guys were wondering what this hunk of junk is. Uh, it's a really awesome keyboard that has different sounds on it, but what I like to do with it is record a loop, reoccurring bass line, and then I add on top of that. It's really easy to play the bass. Well, it's not really easy, but I mean, like, when you play piano, like, just recording that and then just, like, adding to that, it's so much easier than trying to do it the other way around. Well, that's why most songs start with, like, bass and drums, you know? Yeah, and see, this has actually got, like, drum beats that you can record on it, but they don't sound very good, so I just rather do my own, because I got cymbals, I got a cowbell. Think about getting a bongo. See, now these keys are working. They weren't working yesterday. Sometimes I'll come up with, like, a really sick bass line, man. See, I fucked it up. If I fuck up the tempo, I fuck up everything. That's interesting. It's actually easier to play bass on the Yamaha because it has like a bass sound that sounds way more realistic than this one. Oh shit! No, 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 no! Fuck you! I don't want that. But yeah, like that Yamaha, it actually sounds like a bass guitar. It's pretty cool. See, this is not a very good example of what I'm able to do. Um, this is just me fucking with it, not knowing what's gonna happen. I just don't like to do the same thing over and over again because I think it's boring, you know? Like, I find chords that I like a lot, but I try to add to those chords so it's not just the same fucking shit. Or, you know, I'll change something random at the end. It sounds pretty generic, and I'm sorry. It's so generic. I hate generic shit, you know? But see, if you had that, that's cool, you know? See, this is when the keys work, though. God, cigarette tastes, they really taste like shit, you guys. Like, you tell yourself that they taste good, but it's really just that. What I love about cigarettes so much is, like, the literal smoking part. Fantastic. And I just threw that in the leaves, and I might just have started a brush fire. Yeah, right behind the fucking trash can. Timing is everything. See? Fucked it up. See, if I gotta hit that button, like, right on time, you know? But even if I don't, it's still funny. So it's fine if it doesn't work. It still works. That's the beautiful thing about comedy, guys. Why do you think that I'm in this field? Like, comedy, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's fucking perfect because, you know, I can be an imperfectionist. Because I try so fucking hard to just put it all together in that, like, exact right way that makes the most sense in my head. But it's totally different when you're actually in front of real people, you know? Because, like, oftentimes, and I'm sure that people in the Nashville comedy scene do this, I'm sure that everybody in every comedy scene everywhere does this, where, you know, they kind of, like, pick up people and collect them and put them in their head to save them for that audience that's always there. You guys do this? All right, well, anyway, I mean, I've talked to other comics in this scene, and, you know, they tell me that I'm in their idealized audience in their heads. So that makes me feel good. It always does. Shout out to Matt Boyd. Anyway, I give shout outs to people that I liked, people that I respected in the comedy scene. I want to help them. Because, like, doing comedy is really fucking hard. Even though it's like, it makes sense if you got attention issues. You know, you want attention a lot, and you don't get it enough. You know, I've realized, like, you just say stuff, and then, like, you're gonna probably say the exact opposite thing tomorrow, and you'll be like, yeah, it's not really that hard to do comedy, man. I don't really respect anybody that does it. I really don't respect myself either. FOOEY. FOOEY! See, my thing is, like, last night, like, I've been writing set list after set list after set list, and, like, I still didn't know what I was going to perform last night. It's always a big, fat mystery. But I keep adding to this notebook, the rant notebook, for obvious reasons. I just want to let you guys know some of the stuff that I really care about. And yeah, I just picked my nose. What are you going to do about it? You can pick your ears. Shit. Topics that I care about or have a lot of personal experience with. I care about racism. I care about the fact that we live in a country that prides itself on equality, and that's the biggest fucking lie in the world. And any minority living in this country can attest to that shit. If you're mentally ill, you can attest to that shit. I care about art in gen. I wish that people gave a shit about the stuff that they watch and listen to and read. And, well, I don't think that people read anymore. But back in the day, when books were a thing, like, the last book that I heard about was Twilight. And I'll digress on that subject. Mental illness in gen. It's ridiculous that this country doesn't believe that psychology is a science. If you want to know why we're so far behind, that's a pure example. That's why people are paying doctors ridiculous amounts of money to tell them what's going on inside their own head. See, if, like, psychology was a science and that were, like, required to take psychology classes, like, you'd have people that were, like, way more, like, cognizant of their own emotions and their own, like, thought processes and shit. But no, you gotta, like, pay a doctor for that? Like, fuck that, man. Just look it up. You don't even have to go to a library anymore. You can just look that shit up on your smartphone if you want to be fucking smart, right? That's what they're for. That's what I was told. Abortion / child molestation. I lump those two categories together because child molestation is usually what happens to all those babies that don't get aborted. Just to let you know, pro-life movement. Think you're so noble. DIY, in parentheses, anti-technology / religion. So DIY, that can apply to so many things, you know? Do it yourself. Medication, do it yourself. Diagnosis, do it yourself. Make your own friends. Don't rely on a fucking social networking site for that. Do it yourself. Go ask a bitch on a date. Don't rely on Tinder for that shit. Do it yourself. You're your own god. You make your own fucking destiny. Everybody does. Just Christians aren't very creative. America / stop culture. There's never a shortage of things to make fun of in this country. And I know if I like move to Europe, I can make fun of shit there, but I'd probably just make fun of it in relation to like American shit that I make fun of. You know, I'd be like, oh, this is why it's so much better over here, you know? So I have like an endless supply of jokes in the US of dumb fuck. But yeah, people are really stupid around here, and they make all kinds of excuses as to why they don't think about that, you know? You don't have to tell me how stupid I am. I already fucking know, okay? Got that camera crew I told you about. Guns / rights / liberals. I'm gonna put this down for a second. People like to pride themselves in all the rights that they believe in, but it's not true, you know? It's like they believe in certain rights, but they don't believe in all the rights. You believe in rights for some people, but not all people. And I know I'm guilty of the same thing, because in my own way, I'm kind of a fascist too, you know? Everybody is like a fucking Nazi about different things. It's just that some people legislate it and some people don't. Like the smarter people don't try to legislate it. They just say, hey, I don't like what you're doing over there. And that's fine because that's you doing that over there. And, you know, like, I'm not going to try to like meddle in other people's affairs. That's none of my fucking business. You know, if you want to like get on Facebook and devote your entire life to fucking Facebook approval, that's you. You know, I can totally disagree with it, and I can think it's retarded, and I can say whatever the fuck I want to say about it over here, but I'm not, like, I just feel like people are too extreme about, like, how they think that other people should live, you know? I am probably the most extreme person I've ever met, you know, in the way that I look at things, in the way that I perceive people, in the way that I, like, separate society into different segments of stupidity, you know? Like, I know that my way of thinking is pretty screwed up sometimes. I'm very well aware of that. Being well aware of that, I'm not gonna fucking start like a protest rally. I mean, I feel like I'd be good at that shit. I'd be so good at being a cult leader, man, if I could just be organized, but that's my biggest problem. If you can't tell already. Why? Yeah, like, I don't like guns, but at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to tell you you can't have a gun just because I don't like them. Like, I can make fun of you all day for, like, being on Tinder or, like, using some, like, Match.com or OkCupid or whatever the fuck. Like, if you're, like, that desperate that you really don't want to be alone, like, you can't imagine being alone. You're going to trust people over the internet to, like, hook you up with somebody for the rest of your life. That's still you, though. And, like, if you find somebody that's awesome, like, go you and fuck me. Fuck me for trying to make fun of you for that. You know what I mean? Like, people are too sensitive. Like, if you're happy with where you are, then it shouldn't matter what I think about it over here anyway. You know? And, like, just people, they try to meddle in too many affairs that aren't their own, and it's like, I feel like a lot of people, they do that so that they don't have to focus on their own life and how shitty it is and all the ways that they're screwing it up. Like, I know I'm screwing my life up. I'm screwing my life up by fucking smoking and thinking that, like, this is good. Or, like, this is, like, me being productive, It's bullshit. Yeah, so maybe you going back to smoking, that was just your way of proving that you're a fucking hypocrite. Yeah, you guys. That didn't work. See, sometimes it doesn't work. But we make do we not? Don't think that I don't know how obnoxious I am. I watch these videos, and, like, sometimes I laugh. I mean, a lot of the times I laugh. I mean, I know I'm really funny, but there are a lot of comics that are fucking obnoxious. Like, if you just listen to them for an extended period of time, like, they might be hilarious, but there's a reason why they're suicidally depressed. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, I know how fucking annoying I am. I'm a borderline personality. Like, we are, like, so annoying. That's why I walk away. Like, when I hear myself talk, I'm just like, that's why I won't do a podcast. Because, like, I already talk enough in these things. I already talk enough to myself all the time. Like, I don't need to do a fucking podcast. Thank you. And that's, like, so typical. Like, every fucking comedian does a podcast, and I just don't want to be that typical. Even though I'm sure I could change people's lives, right? Change people's lives. With my podcast. Oh, man. So, I realized something really sad recently. Maybe the reason that I act like, I'm sure you guys can tell that I don't feel like a woman. I mean, you probably have, like, witnessed that in my other videos, that I'm not very ladylike. And, what I have to say about that is, that I feel like I act more masculine because I feel like that's the only way that society will, like, take a woman seriously. I mean, that's pretty fucking sad, right? That you can't act like a woman. In order for people to, like, realize that you're worth of shit. I don't know. I mean, I bitched about women and how much I don't like them, but I feel like it's not really their fault that they act that way. It's just society. Society conditions people to behave in a certain way. And, most people are a lot smarter than me. And, they're going to act the part. They're going to dress the way that they think they're supposed to dress so they don't get made fun of. They're not going to act weird. They're not going to eat that glue stick in the corner and be proud. Like, they're not going to do stuff that's going to make people, like, oppress them. But see, I've always been really open about my emotional problems, and that I never really felt like I could fit in anywhere. Definitely not with my race or my country or my gender. And I know that there are definitely people that got a problem with that. So like, you should act more white, you should act more female, you should act more American, but fuck that. Like, if those three things weren't stereotypically bad, like, I strive to be like, you know, that one person that's like the one in a million kind of gal that's just like so totally out there. I mean, I don't really think I have to strive. Like, I think I'm already totally there. But uh, like I think if people knew that I had a mental illness, like, they would treat me a lot differently. I mean, people can tell that I'm weird, but that's as far as it gets most of the time. Like, they don't want to attribute that to like some sort of psychological problem. But there's nothing wrong with being different, you guys. So like, if you're in this country and you're being oppressed, or you feel like you can't be yourself, just remember there's some crazy ass bitch that lives in like the podunk in the Tennessee tri-state area feels your pain. She feels it from all the way over yonder. Be different, man. Be fucking different. You'll get noticed. But a lot of people don't want to be noticed. They just want to be the same shit that everybody else is. Or they want to be noticed for something really good, like something really beautiful. You know, like, oh, she's really pretty, you know, or like, that's really it. Like, with women, like, that's what they want. They want people to think that they're pretty and cute, and sometimes they say smart things occasionally. Like, like, that's what women are trained to look at, is like success, is like being really pretty and being skinny and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm fucking 90 pounds and it's no fucking accomplishment, okay? It's just the way that my body is and the way that my emotions roll. Yeah. I just hate how society expects certain things. I could go on and on about this. I should probably digress right now. See y'all.